Somebody help me. All right, so I think I found the stupidest part I've ever seen in my life, and I actually bought it because of that. This is like a knockoff of the upgraded fifth gear nuts for the NV4500. This is the full spline, has those cool, what I think is cool, the 3-piece washer. So it puts that, it puts this in shear. So your nut doesn't have to do as much work in holding this thing on there. So once you tighten it on there, if this were to start working itself loose, you have all those two washers like a bearing puller that would have to shear, and it won't allow that to work that nut off. Anyway, that part's kind of cool, but this part, I have to be missing something. So this is the stupidest idea I've ever seen in my life, and the execution of it is even worse. And I'll show you that here in just a second. So the theory is you tighten that on there, and then you install this on the splines, right? And it's keyed. So that part's pretty cool. So that'll keep that nut from being able to come off, right? Nothing retains this until you put your transfer case on. Unless I'm completely missing something, there's nothing retaining this on there except for the input shaft of your transfer case. And it's like, okay, you don't know where that nut is going to be. You shim your main shaft right here to get your in play. You're moving that shaft in and out. You got to get 2 to 6 thousandths of total in play in here. So you have to shim it there, which is pushing either the input shaft or the output shaft in or out, depending on how many shims you put in there. All right, so you get your in shaft play. You don't know where that's going to end up. Plus my cool little 3-piece washers are already going to be setting me back a little bit because you still use your Belleville washer over the top of those washers. So anyway, so you're either going to be squeezing the crap out of this with the input shaft once you bolt your transfer case on. You're going to be like, yeah, putting a ton of preload on your bearings that way, even if you can even get the thing all the way tight. Or it's going to be loose and rattling around in there because it's not like this thing is tight by any stretch of the imagination. It's going to be rattling around on there until just sending metal chips and everything else until it eventually just wears completely away. And you'll have to listen to that thinking your transfer case chain is loose. Now here's the execution of it. Look at this. Wait, if I can get it going. Get on there, you piece of... Woo! How nice is that? Right? Now you think you must have cross-threaded it, right? And just threaded it on there by hand? No, they actually machined it that crooked. So, all right, right there, it looks like left-hand thread. You see that? Go this way. And now you got a leading edge. Now it looks like a right-hand thread nut. Going down, going down, going back up. Uh-oh. Anyway, holy crap. Bonbo, B-O-N-B-O.